You guys absolutely must be feeling this. There's just no way around this. Don't get mad, but I'm being encouraged to change my approach slightly in a way that might discomfort some of you. Some messages look like they need to be delivered much more simply at this time. Now, that does not mean I'm going to throw away my layered readings, my complicated readings. I just want to let you know that it's looking like I'm being pushed to change. And you might not like it, I might not like it, but we're still here. So here's who this reading is for. You're still here. That's great. You might be feeling, number one, the weird energy, but you might be feeling something pushing you. Like it is a weird push lately. It's definitely weirder on my side. I am woken up like almost every hour. I'm unable to sleep. So some of you might be experiencing that. I will definitely have to get a collective sound out to you guys ASAP. I'm really sorry about some of your guys' sleeping issues. I'm kind of getting that this is a particular message for my disruptive children's. And that's why it's so short and intense. That's why I feel it can't be very cerebral. It has to be more intuitive. And that's just what I'm getting in the energy lately. This is for a small group of people who have been told they are difficult. You'll just know who you are. And maybe have also experienced what looks like a lot of conflict about how you naturally move through the world. Things aren't easy. Like they feel and they look like they're much easier for others, and you have a more difficult time moving through the world. And that's clear here. It's looking like it's for those who have become highly introspective as a result, almost like experiencing constant friction in simple things has created what looks like a positive awareness, what looks like a lot of awareness that other people don't have. So very short and sweet. My disruptive children's. I don't want to say babies all the time because that's weird. This is for a message about a person. This is about a connection. You are a disruptive person, but there's someone attached to this aspect of you and your energy. There's a distance between you and whoever this is. Remember, it doesn't have to be romantic. It's just a strong, ongoing connection, but it feels like they are acting different. They are perceiving something different, and you might be getting multiple messages around this perspective change. I think what's important here is the distance. The distance is showing as a critical thing here. They're experiencing enough room to have better awareness, to have better insight. So Spirit wants you to hear the way that their illusion is breaking, because there's some sort of comparison failure, either with another person that they tried to replace you with or a situation that they try to distract with. There's some sort of illusion breaking, and it's being presented to you. It's coming to you because it applies to your own journey and your own self-awareness. This is something that you need to understand as you continue to move away, as you continue to heal, and you continue to grow as a person. This illusion that they had and will continue having is important you hear, especially with the type of person you are. So if that sounds like you, if you are a disruptive, dismantling, catalytic, beautiful baby, welcome to your short and simple reading. Okay, I'm going to jump into a story here, it looks like. But first, I just want to say something that you're doing needs to be simplified. I think that's why this message is going to be simple. It's not going to have a novella in the description. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I do what I'm instructed. I'm just the messenger. And it's very clear this needs to be short and intuitive again. And for those of you who are new, like, what do you mean a novella? Yeah, I normally write like love notes in the description, like very detailed things. And I'm being told this message needs to be very simple and not as complex. And there's something in your environment you need to simplify as well. You are giving too much energy to something and overcomplicating it in some way. That's coming through here clear. You might know what that is right away. If you don't, pay attention to what immediately drains you. There's an immediate connection that you might not be seeing. Here's what looks like a story. This person, whoever they are for you, they definitely had it in their mind before this distance that they just needed an easier person. In their mind, it was your disruptive nature that was problematic. And I see this as a common misunderstanding that people are tying to your larger presence, but I'll get into that. It's much easier to dismiss a large presence. It's much easier to not have to engage with it, right? Because otherwise people have to look at themselves themselves. They have to look at why it challenges them. They have to look at why it disturbs them. And there's something very large about your presence that asks for consistency. Your presence asks for the truth. It asks for the highest version of people. And that is going to a majority of the time backfire because most people are either asleep or they don't even hold themselves to that standard. So most people's responses to you, unfortunately, a majority of the world, especially this person, is going to dismiss you out of self-protection. They're going to label you as the problem. It's going to have conflict. You're not actually difficult. You're just at a higher frequency. You're more involved in the truth. You sort of hold this higher bar of frequency and the truth. And by doing so, you sort of shatter illusions. And so here's the story. Here's what happened. They found a much easier situation. Very clear. They found someone who didn't challenge their energy, that didn't hold them to a higher bar, that didn't ask for consistency. And if this is like work or boss related, which I see some of you it might be, basically this employer found a more agreeable employee. It doesn't have to be romantic. I see this being multiple areas. And so whoever this agreeable thing energy is, it's like not questioning, it's softer. It just has a lower presence overall. And I think what Spirit is highlighting by showing me this is Spirit is saying, at first, this was such a relief to this person. They might have confused it with compatibility. This interaction might have confirmed their bias, their illusion, because the effortlessness stopped asking them to look at themselves. And so it was more quiet. But those traits that felt better at first have now feels much more flat. And so it's almost like they felt relief at first, and that confirmed that they made this right decision, I guess temporarily. And now it's coming to a head. Now it's coming to realizing that price of easier is actually less fulfilling. It's actually more dull. It doesn't have substance. It doesn't have high energy. It doesn't have the same feeling. There's so many different problems that are coming from, I guess, the easier choice of this. And this could apply to everything. This is like, everything in life that feels temporarily easy at the beginning is usually not good for us. And there's something really important about your energy that is so impactful to a person's long-term health and life, but it's perceived wrong initially. It's discomfort. It's a challenge. It's forcing consistency. It's forcing coherence. But all of these things are beneficial to a person long-term. All of these things are what are actually healthy, what actually give long-term fulfillment. But this person confused short-term relief with long-term fulfillment. And so here's the first half of this message. It's really important to you is like this person, whether a new employee, whether a new friend, whether a new person, a relationship, there's no momentum. It is not exciting to be around them. They are avoiding this now. It is empty. It is not rewarding. It has no substance. But they spent a long time in this pleasure window where it felt good, where it was like, okay, I did the right thing. We just weren't compatible. This person was too difficult, whatever it was confirming into them. And so they're having a reckoning. And this is challenging for them because it means they have to now acknowledge why they feel so distressed by a large presence. They have to look at your presence as not wrong, as actually beneficial, healthy, positive, encouraging. And they have to now look at this smaller presence and what that means for their long-term future. I kind of like the simple readings. I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you guys think. Some of you might be raging that you don't get your novellas, and I want to write them just as bad as you want them. But here's your message, my disruptive children. The reason you need to hear this is very simple. It is not about focusing on them picking this easier whatever. This person, whoever this is, may have thought easier would feel better long term. They had an illusion. They had an illusion that temporary fulfillment equals long term discipline, long term happiness. Those are not the same thing. There's a hidden cost of easier, and it shows up in a lot of the way this person moves through the world. It's a reckoning to be forced with all of their decisions and choices, not just this one. So you may have noticed this in other things that this person did, not just this choice. But reevaluations, value changes like this are so large, so disruptive. You could be feeling sort of the ripple effects of that, of this Hail Mary, of this coming to Jesus type of thing. And so they're reevaluating what difficulty actually means. They're reevaluating a high presence person, how rare it is to find that, why they feel so challenged by that. There's something really important about your view of difficulty, about being difficult. You may have gotten messages like this from me in the past, and it's coming up again, especially in this eclipse window. Pay attention. You are on the path already to disrupting the mindset that you are difficult. You are not difficult. You are being called to examine your view of difficulty. You are being pushed to revisit it just like this person is. This is particularly important for some of your eclipse experiences. In this eclipse window is very important of that. This message is emphasizing the difficult traits that you have are your biggest strengths. And you might be already sort of being pushed to see that, but there's a reason for these difficult traits like honesty, high presence, disruption, defiance of the rules. You actually need to tap into that more, and it might feel uncomfortable. There's something about this experience that sort of has an open loop that needs to be closed. I kind of see the reason that this is coming up is there's something about this. Your specific traits of high presence, of honesty, disruption, defiance, these very unconventional high energy traits, they are needed for something. Something else is coming up that will require your specific combination of traits. And I suppose one of the traits in of itself is not very rare, but you have a stacked amount of traits here. There's something happening that needs this layer of your traits all together. They are placement specific. They are there for a reason. And you're supposed to get evidence that these traits are not excessive. They are specifically stacked. They are specifically aligned for something. And it's difficult because yours are going to be misunderstood. There's going to be a lot of reevaluation that's being forced on you, this person, because difficulty is actually a sign of something being right. Difficulty is good. Difficulty means you're not fitting into a mold. We need more difficult people. We need more challengers. And I think that society conditioning, all of these problematic things will constantly make you doubt these traits of yours. Situations that have friction are not fun to be in, but that's not about you. That's about the conditioning, the expectations of society and trying to fit you within that. And so I guess your message is quite simple. Something is coming up that will specifically need these qualities together that you have. It's not the quality of itself that is rare. It is how you have 3 or more overlaps of uncommon traits. And it's going to be highly valuable to the right person, the right opportunity, the right thing. It might also be coming up because this person is seeing that they need it in some very specific way to their life. And so your message is really let this penetrate your existing model. If you're feeling doubt that you are too difficult, if you're feeling uncertainty about your friction situations, if you have a lot of excess energy at this time, let it just penetrate. Let it just sit there. This is all being stirred up for a reason. And I almost think that it's just the word difficulty that's wrong here. The difficulty comes from the environment. It does not come from you. You're living in your truest self in a world that doesn't do that. That's what's difficult. So you're being asked right now if you're feeling more awareness about these high friction situations, about this other person, whatever it is, however it's coming up for you, to actually see what this is. This is a result of the world, the environment not being able to meet you. So if this person comes back, just remember that the most important thing about this situation is not that they come to terms with that you aren't difficult. It is that you and many other people right now are being challenged collectively about what your definition of difficult actually means, because the collective energy is being forced within. They're being forced to look at the constraints, the environment, and the conditioning that cause emotional distress. Things will start to change. People will start to have different responses to you. It's not always going to feel like such high friction because the collective energy is changing. We're all sort of looking at the system that bounds us instead of looking at ourselves as problems. And that is your message today, is keep challenging your thoughts, keep challenging your emotions. It is the correct way to handle these high friction environments, to handle someone misinterpreting you. I don't know. I feel like my messages are kind of weird lately. And so that brings me to the yapping section, the salt yaps. It's rebranded from Salt Talks. I don't know. We've been through a lot here. I wanted to get on here today and just tell you, of course, my novellas will never leave. Please. I have to fight my own urges to stop typing when Spirit tells me less is more. But something is coming through that's just like very weird lately for me. In the energy is I have been fighting this for a little bit, a couple of weeks, but I'm sensing there's a call. There's a really strong call that I can't keep fighting for me to get offline for the next week or so. Specifically in influencing some people it's meant to influence. The energy here is showing me the collective is delicate right now. This eclipse window, I keep talking about it. This is the second message where it's coming up. It's very, very strong. If you are feeling restlessness, if you are feeling flatness, if you are feeling an increase in something, listen to me. Listen to me right now. There is a need, a call to change something right now. Just temporarily, not forever, to rechannel, redirect something that you are receiving. And so for some of you, it is being channeled through me. I am being called to change. And I kind of see that in me taking a little bit of a break, either a week off, returning with something weird is kind of on my radar. But if I don't return with something weird, maybe I am the weird. And just being gone for like a week or so is enough disruption. I don't know. So just know that while I'm away, I am never really away. I'm always with you. Take time to just kind of sit in whatever this is for you. I really just see a lot of restlessness, a lot of false urgency. Some of you have less desire or flatness. Sit in that for a little bit. You're being called to sit in it. We will be in the void together. I will be with you. I promise. So get offline. Go for a walk, take some bubble baths, and I'll be here when you get back. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves because honestly, I kind of need you too. I need you to take care of yourself too. Okay, that's it. Cheers.